again, it's Carla Marie, and I am back with our next video on our Fun Schooling theme days. So let's review. We started off with Math Challenge Monday. Then we talked about where, what, and who in the world Tuesday. And then we talked about Read About It Wednesday and Write About It Thursday. So now we are going to focus on Create and Explore Friday. And that is when we focus on science and art. Now we do a lot of science and art outside of the short period of time that we do our theme days in the mornings, which is an hour out of their day. My kids can be found doing art projects and science projects of all kinds all day long because it's things that they're passionate about. But this is just something that I initiate. And that goes the same for all of the other theme days that my children can be found reading, writing, doing math in multiple different ways based on how they're pursuing different things. And well as history or geography or science and art, technology, all of the topics that we would actually do a theme on, my children are doing all day, every day anyway. Those theme days are just things that I'm initiating, but they are initiating their own learning and taking the reins in those areas in their free time as well. So I just like to do this so it kind of gives them a frame of reference and knowledge and input when they go to pursue other things that they're interested in. So I want to talk about science first. It is my favorite topic ever. I absolutely love science. I love sciences kind of across the board. Now we are year-round schoolers, I guess you could say, or year-round learners, interest-led learners. So we don't have like days of school, certain days that we school, or certain times that we school. I mean, we don't like just turn our brains on and off. We're just learning all the time. And so whenever that rabbit trail needs to be followed, no matter what day it is, what time it is, no matter what it is that we're trying to figure out, we work on it. And as parents, we make ourselves available to our children to do that. Can it be tiring sometimes? Yes. But the mind doesn't take a break when it comes to learning and trying to explore and figure things out. And in order for us to be able to do that and give our children the opportunity to learn and grow and mature and pursue things, we have to be open to being there as facilitators. We consider ourselves more facilitators than teachers, and we like them to take the lead in what it is that they're learning. So they're always learning all day, every day. But science is my favorite. And so on Friday mornings, I will initiate a science project and or an art project. So sometimes we do both, sometimes we do one or the other. It just depends. And then there are times when I do not initiate something. What I do is I strew, which if you know what strewing is, kind of in the interest-led learning realm or unschooling realm, it is non-coercive, unforceful presentation of resources, or learning activities or opportunities that your children may currently be interested in, or something you think they may be interested in. It is a way of presenting information and resources without any strings attached. And so I do this often. There's sometimes when I prepare something and I'll make a YouTube playlist like I talked about on my last video. I'll come up with a project for us to do or an experiment for us to do. Or I'll read a book about something that sparks interest in a certain area. Or I'll decide, you know what, either I'm tired or I have something else I have to do, or I just want to see what it is that they'll do. Then what I'll do is I will strew information, or I'll strew a book, such as these books. We have a lot of these around the house. Books that are very easy to use. Books such as Science in the Kitchen, and you can find lots of kitchen science books online, just about any bookstore that you go to. But they allow the kids to explore and do things with very basic household items. Obviously, you want to be aware, make sure that they're not doing anything dangerous. But there's so many different things that they can do that don't require your assistance or much preparation at all. And so a lot of times what I'll do is I will put out a book, or I'll turn that book to a certain page, and I will put it on the kitchen table, and I would basically leave it out and leave out all the supplies to do it and walk away. And so basically what I'm saying is, whoever's interested, whoever bites, enjoy. And you'll be surprised. I've done that several times. We have an entire bucket. I have buckets behind me here that is filled with the human body information. So we have flip charts and body organ molds and puzzles and games and books and all kinds of things that are about the human body. And I'll just put all of that out on the table and walk away. And before I know it, they're just flocking to it. Now, sometimes you'll have a couple kids that are like, I did that last week, or I did that yesterday, or they just don't feel like it, and that's fine. That's fine too. They're engaged in another interest-led project that has their attention, and that's fine. But then you'll have others that are like, oh, I forgot about that, or oh, I'd really like to get into that. So I do that with different items and different projects that we have around the house. I'm going to show you in a moment some clips of some of the science projects that we have done. And then I will take you to my handy dandy closet. But next, before I do that, I want to talk about art. And I told you a little bit earlier what my philosophy, or that I have a kind of a philosophy about art. I feel like art is very personal. I feel like there's no right or wrong way to create art. And I have the tendency to not really like art projects that have an expected end. So one thing that we try to do in our household, we love for our children to get creative and to come up with ideas. A lot of times they come up with ideas that are so much more awesome than anything that I could have come up with or planned. And so what we try to do is provide a lot of materials and a lot of tools for them to be able to create, whether it be science or technology type things, or whether it be art supplies, paints, pencils, brushes, you name it, crafts, different craft materials and yarn, and just we try to supply a wide range of materials as far as arts and crafts and kind of engineering type stuff like makerspace, to allow them to create with no rules, with no designated end, with no instruction as far as what it's supposed to look like or what it's supposed to do. And I think that we get much better results than when I used to try to put together an art project and this is exactly the way it's supposed to look. And your tree's supposed to be green because trees are green. Or, you know, you're supposed to make this machine with these blocks because that's what the instruction says. But they came up with something greater and much more creative. And so I'm really excited to pursue a more flexible way of providing things for them than a expected end, so to speak. So that's kind of my art philosophy. I know other people may think differently, but I really like to see what my kids come up with on their own. I think it's very interesting to see their creative juices flow. So in a moment, I am going to take you over to my homeschool closet where I keep my gold, all of my exciting items that I have collected over the years, but things that kind of help us on our they help not only for me prepare for our theme day, Create and Explore Friday, but they also help me strew new resources, and they're there for my kids when something sparks their creativity or something that they want to do on their own. We have purchased a lot of tools and kits and things of that nature, and they can pursue these things on their own without me, outside of our theme day time that we spend together. So gonna take you over there in just a moment, but before I do that, I am going to show you a few clips of some things that we have done previously, both in science and in art, to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about. And then I'll take you over to my closet. Okay, so here we are in my closet. As you can see, there's lots of stuff in here, but and I have to reorganize it often because my kids come in here and grab stuff and just things end up everywhere. But I wanted to kind of show you some of the things that I will pull out on our Create and Explore Fridays. We have these kits here. All of these kits that have multiple, and that's what I try to focus on when I'm purchasing something to get the most for my money. They have multiple different experiments and projects within each kit, and they come with all of the items that you need to complete the projects. So there's very little that you need to prepare for those, and that's excellent, because if I haven't come up with something else, I can pull one of those kits and immediately have a really great time exploring different areas. And so we have all kinds of kits and experiment opportunities here. And then as you can see, my girls like the spa kit and the candy factory kit, but we also have some others. Most of these things I have purchased either from Amazon or Barnes & Noble, or I got it either secondhand or it was brand new from a garage sale or church sale or homeschool sale. I've also gotten some things from Five Below, like these two items here. So that's a lot of the things that we do. Down here we have a lot of videos. So some of those videos are science related. We have the science ones here. We also have some Magic School Bus ones and a lot of others that are science related. And what I generally do is I will take make a YouTube playlist on the topic that, so say for instance I was going to do something on physics. I would make a YouTube playlist of maybe 4 or 5 videos that explain physics in several different ways, or a few terms. I mean, you can't do it all of one subject in one day, but a few terms that we want to focus on, and then I'll pick a project out of there, or I let them pick the project that we're going to do, and that will be it for that day. And so they have exposure to that topic. They've seen it actually in action on the playlist, and they've put their hands to it to experience. and actually witness the outcomes. And so it's, different ways. I try to introduce a topic or a concept in different ways in the same lesson. So that's pretty much it. As you can see, again, I have lots of other items in here. And then I do the same thing with art. Sometimes we would do something like if we're making candles, or if we are making something, we've made candles, we have made bird feeders, we have made all kinds of, I'm just showing you all the stuff that is available to them, so they're able to actually come in here and get all the things that they need. There are their handy dandy notebooks if they run out of notebooks. So, all kinds of things in here. But we've made candles, we've made bird feeders, we've made all kinds of things that do kind of have an expected outcome. And then we also have, like I said, all kinds of art supplies and things available to them, and they can avail themselves to them and get creative. So, usually we are outside in the summer. So most of the things that we do in the summertime are going to end up being, like for instance, using the Nature Explorer kit, or using our, I have Don't Touch on here, but using our microscope, things of that nature, because we love being outside. And so being outside in the summertime is our favorite thing to do. And so most of the science that we explore in the summer, because we do things year round, is outside. It has to do with bugs and nature and things of that nature. So we really, really, really enjoy those kinds of things. But in the winter, we need this stuff to keep our minds moving, because we can't get outside as much, and we live in Michigan. So as you can imagine, we need as much information and things that we can keep ourselves busy during those cold winter days that we can't get out. So if you have any questions about some of the things that you have seen in the closet, please let me know. I'm more than happy to tell you where I got it and where you can get it. All right. Well, I will be back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. I think by now you kind of got an idea of what I'm talking about. We take the questions that our kids ask, the things that they're interested in, the things they're pursuing, or just anything, we try to look for any kind of clue as to what they'd be interested in pursuing further. And then that's where I get the ideas from. I'll pull from Pinterest. I'll pull from some of those kits that you saw. I might get an idea from something I saw on Facebook or Instagram. I mean, the sky's the limit. I might get ideas out of books that I have here. I might get library books that focus on certain topics that I know that they'd be interested in. Really, the sky's the limit as far as where I would get things from. But you kind of got an idea based on this video, the kinds of things that we do. And again, all of the theme days, because this is our last theme day video, I wanted to stress, all of our theme days are literally an hour each morning. And then our children are free to pursue the things that they are passionate about. And within those things, it is then that I get to kind of walk around the house and see who's doing what, and if they need more resources for that particular topic that they're studying or that project that they're doing, if they need more materials. If I notice that they're into something, that it's a new interest, I'll try to find more books at the library, make a new playlist regarding that topic on YouTube, whatever I can do to further their interest in that particular area, and then bring in other topics that are related to it. So you can kind of see where I'm going with this, is that there is no limit to learning, and it doesn't have to be at a desk. It doesn't have to be with a workbook. It doesn't have to be with pages and pages of math problems. You can apply every single topic imaginable to your children's lives. And if you get creative and passionate enough about doing it, you'll find yourself 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. During their waking hours, your children will begin to be self-motivated and independent when it comes to seeking out things to learn and explore. I guarantee you. Generally, I notice that when parents have a problem transitioning into a more lenient, more fluid, more flexible way of learning with their kids, it's usually not the kid. It's usually the parent that's having a hard time letting go. So I encourage you to let go, free fall, and watch the awesomeness that happens as a result of it. Now, I'm not saying totally you don't have any rules, you don't have any way of monitoring what it is that they're doing. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I am saying is that no matter what your homeschooling style, no matter what it is, that you're trying to accomplish, your children need some free time to focus on things they're passionate about and some time to get creative. Boredom is not a problem. Boredom is the bit of creativity, so we call it around here. I like it when my kids get bored because that's when they come up with the most amazing ideas and strategies and ways of solving problems on their own and exploring things. So it's okay for kids to be bored, and it's okay for them to have time that is not mega structured and totally micromanaged, as you may have seen one of my videos on micromanaging our children. But I wanted to make sure that I did this series. I hope that it was a blessing to you. If you haven't seen the other parts of the series, the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I urge you to go back and watch those as well. This has been such a blessing to us. That's why I wanted to share it. I have a lot of people ask me questions about our theme days. So if there is one thing that you can pull from this particular series, I hope that it was helpful for you. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with more videos. Bye-bye.